houses too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Round up family. Good God, I love it. Question. My daughter, she sits here with Billy, asking me these questions. It just blows my mind. Out of the mouths of babes, it just blows my mind. Taylor is asking me. She goes, "Well, Daddy, you have all the houses. I mean, I don't think at least worth $10,000 each. Let's just say." And she goes, "Let's just say they're worth $100,000, right? I need you to understand this stuff, Taylor. You gotta get this. You gotta get this, or you're gonna be broke. You're gonna stay broke your whole life if you don't get this lesson we're going over. Round up family. Value of my houses, Taylor. Of our houses. Let's just say one house is worth 80K. You understand what that is? $80,000. So you were asking me what about if the value is worth that? Why we can't spend that money, right? Why can't we just spend that money? Round up family. I'm going over lessons. I'm gonna hopefully do another whole new module, lessons from my daughter. She's got some great questions. Hit it, Taylor. So the house that we own, one of them is worth 80,000. Why can't you want to know what now? What was your question?
I said, why can't we live in a two-story house since we have so many houses? Each one is about $80,000.
Okay, so if let's just say I don't reveal all that I own on the internet. Let's just say we have five houses, right? Five houses, and they're each worth $80,000. How much is that? 400,000, right? And why can't we live in a two-story? First of all, I don't even like two-story houses, but we might get a two-story house if that's what you want. And it'll be up to your mother. We're looking for one now. Is that okay? But still, you want to know why can't we spend this money here, right? Why can't we just spend the 80,000 that the house is worth? This is the value of the house. You got to understand value. That is the value. Repeat after me. After repair value.
After repair value.
After repair value, right? We don't live off the value of the house. What happens is the people. What do people pay us to live in our house? They pay us money, but what is that money called? What is that cat? What is the
Rent?
cash called? You want to sit over here?
Rent?
You can sit right here. Rent, yes. Good God help me, Lord. I don't know what to do. You can sit right here if you want. So they pay us what? Rent to live in our house, right? They pay us rent. Round up family, I gotta work this because I think a lot of you need a lot of us could have got this at a younger age. But let me further the question that one must ask, who is gonna teach you this? Who? I gotta get my hand. Is gonna teach you this? You haven't seen nothing like this. Yeah, you're 11 years old. Have you seen anything remotely close to this anywhere? Who's gonna teach you this? Because they ain't teaching it nowhere. I had to learn it from some rich white man, rich old white dude. They pay us what to live in our house that's worth 80,000 rent, right? And they pay us. Let's just say they pay us $1,000 a month, right? So what we have to learn that a skill that is so challenging, the biggest skill that I had to learn is you have to live off the cash flow, aka this is the golden goose. You know how to draw a goose? You're good at that. I draw a goose. How you draw a goose?
I can draw.
Here, draw a goose. Round up family, this is so amateur, but I have to give you this one, man, because this is what really catapulted my career. And I didn't create this. I learned a lot of this from the rich white dude, Ron LeGrand and Lonnie Scruggs. Here's the go to good. It don't have to be perfect. That's good. Lord have mercy. Give me the thing. Okay. They can't even see that.
It looks
All
weird.
right. Look at the dog. So this is the goose, right? Taylor. Oh, here's the goose. The goose is worth 80,000. The goose is worth 80,000. You gotta get this or you'll always be broke. It's just part of life. You'll always be broke. I don't care if you make $500,000-$600,000 a year. If you do not get this concept, this philosophy, if you do not get this principle, just like if you fall out of a tree, right? Let's say you climbed up the tree and back out, you fell out, you boom, broke your leg. Broke your leg. Can you blame gravity for that?
No.
You said that daggone gravity. You can't blame gravity. So you have to understand these principles, the principle of gravity. I'm serious. These principles of gravity, principles of money and finances. Here's the golden goose, the value of the houses we own, right? The goose does what? What do gooses do to reproduce?
Egg.
They lay eggs. And these eggs are the rent that we get every month. It's called, say that word right there, cash flow. Roundup family. Good God. You're not, no one's teaching this. No one, you know. Oh, a few people are, but you ain't gonna get it in school. So the house, you can't spend this 80,000. Say we sold the house. What happens to our eggs? Missy, get stupid little. This is what I gotta deal with at night. I got two of these dogs. Taylor, what happens if I were to sell the house and we got that 80,000, right? What's gonna happen to these eggs that were dropping out of my goose every week?
Mm, go away.
They'll go away. Oh, M Jesus. My Taylor's getting it. I'm getting it. Taylor, Chris, you, Chris, you crazy. The eggs will go away. And then what happens? We're back to where we started before we bought this house, right? So the house is worth, let's say, worth 80,000. But what happens if we spent this money here? What happens next month? What happens on the first of the month? Every month
Get rent.
we get rent. Oh, and Jesus, Lord, thank you, God. Remember, you ride, go around town, we collect, and we go to the mailbox and we get money in the mail, and we meet tenants and they pay us. So every month, that's why when you say daddy, I have, we're not saying what we have, but let's say we have five houses, we have 400,000, right? We could sell them and get this cash. We start spending it, and eventually we'll be at every dollar amount you own will go to zero because it goes out in the universe. It's called a current. You know what a current is, right? In the river, the James River, a current cash. That's why they call money currency because it's always moving. It has to always be moving. All right. So when you sell it, it's gonna start going out. Like when you buy this table, we bought the dogs, we bought this board here, we bought all this clothes and crap. You like the tickets to Busch Gardens, all that crap, Disney World, the cruise, all that stuff. That's money going out. But what we have is rent coming in every month. And we live off the cash flow as opposed to living off the value of the houses. So that's why when you say, Daddy, you got all these houses. I mean, you're a millionaire or whatever, you're this, you're that. We have to lock this up. You got me? We live off the cash flow of the assets we own. Okay, you're looking like I'm speaking Chinese now. You're looking like I'm speaking. Lord God, you can get in here. Where you at? Oh, so what else you got on here, Teal? You want to sit up higher?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Any other questions you got on this thing? Well, you asked me, damn, you got all these houses, Dad. Why can't we just spend the money from the houses, right? You get a little better understanding now, a little.
Yeah.
So once we get rid of the house, let's just say this 80,000 is in the house. Once that house is gone, that's taking Daddy and our family down a notch. And when you keep going, eventually you're back at zero. So when you see that, like, yes, we do have a bunch of houses. Yes, but we can't necessarily spend the money that's in the houses. But let me show you another trick that you can do to get access to this money. Remember, you asked me the other day about a credit card, and you said you wanted a credit card. Why would you want a debit card? Why you want a debit card? What is a debit card?
Debit card is so you can like swipe the card and then you get to
You get to do what?
pay for it now because credit then you have to like grab what you see if you buy home stuff and money for it, then you pay it and pay it.
So, what is your understanding of a debit card? I'm gonna tie this all around. Round up family, stay with me. Matter of fact, I'll do some quick Q&A if you got some questions on here. Why not? I'll do a Q&A. Go ahead, round up.
Like
Go
debit
ahead.
card if you have like $20 in your debit card.
If you have $20, the debit card is tied to your bank account where you keep money in.
And
All
your
right.
bank account has say like 50, but and your debit card is $50.
So you got $50 in your checking account that's tied to your.
Bank.
There you go.
And say if you wanted to buy something that was like $15, then would
They'll take it right out
yeah.
automatically. Let me show you the power of real estate. All right, you got me. This $80,000 here. What if I told you you could go to the bank and you go to Mr. Man and you say, Mr. Lender, Mr. Bank, I have a house that's worth $80,000. Would you mind if I could borrow some of that equity? Equity. Do you know what equity? Obviously, you don't. I didn't teach it to you. Equity. Equity is the difference in daddy's houses, the difference in what they're worth, subtract what I owe. So if the house is worth this, if the house is worth, God, there's so much to teach my beautiful daughter as she gets older. If the house is worth $80,000, Taylor, and I owe $75,000 to the lender, how much equity do I have? If the equity is the difference between what you owe and what it's worth, how much equity do I have? How much equity if okay, do you understand the definition of equity? Equity is the difference between what is worth and what you owe. All right. So how much equity do I have here? This is a simple one here. Around the family, you gotta bear with me. I'm sorry.
5,000? Yeah.
$5,000 in equity. That's right. Let me get my sock. Mess up my sock. You see how it's hard writing on this board every day? Now you give daddy a little more respect. No. So you got $5,000 in equity here, right? So, but let's just say for the for sake of our training, let's say I owe nothing on the house. How much equity do I have in this house? 80,000. Now these are small numbers. This is not a lot of money. I know it may seem like it. So I've got $80,000 worth of equity. You know what I can do? I can go to the bank. I can say, Mr. Banker, would you mind if I could pull some of my equity out and put it on a what?
Debit card.
On a debit card. They will give you a card. The bank will give you a card, Taylor, and you can go to the bank and they'll give you a debit card. It's called a home equity line of credit. This is some real game you're getting here. Good God. Matter of fact, can we take some of the money for this class? We could take some of the money out of her college account and pay me. Shit, this is education. I mean, shit. Here you go. This is part charging you.
I gotta save my money for more education. College.
This is the best education. They should be actually paying me. Your college tuition money should go to me. Home equity line of that's a daggone good idea. I'm glad you thought of that. So I'm gonna send Equity Trust a bill. You can pay me. Home equity line of credit, or AKA a HELOC. So we'll go to the bank, right? We'll say, Mr. Bank, would you mind giving me a loan based on the equity in my house? They'll give you a card, Taylor. They'll say, here you go. You can go spend as much, buy whatever you want, based on the value of this house. Why do they give you this money?
Because you asked for it.
Because I asked for it.
Oh.
That is one reason you have to ask. I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. Why would the bank let me borrow $80,000 based on the value of my house?
Because it's your money now.
It's tied into all the houses we have, all the money I put into them. It transmutes. When I pay a house off, the money goes and it turns into brick, windows, siding, roofing. So it's not gone anywhere. It's just transformed into the house. So the bank will loan you money based on your house because if you don't pay, what can they do? Take the house back. And they'll sell the house, get their money back. So people don't just give you debit. Like when your friend has a debit card, that's money that they put in. When the bank gives you a debit card, you're using their money. Would you like to use somebody else's money? Yeah, that's what we do. That's how we build wealth. That's how we're living in this house. We use the money from the bank. So when you see people with debit cards, that's money that they have put in. But when you use a home equity line of credit, that's the bank's money. All right. So we'll teach you how to use the bank's money later. But your daddy had when you see us having all these houses, yes, it's a lot of money, but you can't spend it. Unfortunately, you have to live off the golden golden gooses. Okay, Lord God. Anything else for tonight? That was a lot. What is it? 10 o'clock. You got me up working late tonight. You understand why now? Sorry, Roundup family. I didn't mean to bring you in. I had to do this. My daughter got some good questions. My daughter got some unbelievable questions for you. I've been waiting. Hustlers, yeah. Sorry, y'all. PC's extra video. Thank you for watching. I'm nothing without you guys. I'm nothing without you. Literally, I'm nothing. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Round up family. I hope I poured into you tonight. I hope I poured into you tonight. I have to. Oh, is that Monroe? Monroe, you got the ghost. You got that mentality. PC's extra video. You know, the problem is they don't teach this stuff in school, so it is my obligation, my honor, my ministry, my duty to put this out in the world. Put this out in the world. I gotta put this out in the world because nobody did it for me. Taylor, all right, what else you got? We're gonna cut this thing off. You ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, I don't have anything. What comes out
As soon as I cut this stuff off, you can be like,
after you pick it up from the breakfast, you can go to bed.
no, you ain't.
Yeah, I am. Or like getting my phone or something.
Anyway, Danny, gonna be home, make the old school. Oh, they talking about coffee. All right, Round Up family, yeah. Round Up family, home equity, a HELOC. That's right, Williams. Round Up family, thank you. Thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you for letting me serve. This is a quick one. I gotta have a thing. I gotta come up with these nightly things. I'll see you soon. Make sure you oh shoot, good lord. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Round Up Family. Like the content and please let me know what are you teaching your kids? I like to know what are you teaching your kids and what can you do? What can we do to make this thing better? You got this on here? Oh, Chris. Oh yeah, you can do that. What are you doing on here? What are you teaching your kids and what do you think we should be teaching our kids? Please comment in the section below. Round up. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.